Ladies, I am here tonight on this. And tonight I want to talk about um Russell Westbrook asking for a trade. Apparently, neither Russell Westbrook or James Harden no longer want to play together. It's more Russell Westbrook he don't want to play because James Harden is just too ball dominant, and obviously Westbrook is the same way. So this is like putting Kobe and Allen Iverson together. It's just not going to work. They just love to both have the basketball. So obviously Harden doesn't even give a shit apparently, but he just said, "All right, you don't want to play with me anymore." It's more Westbrook. Obviously, he wants to go back to averaging a triple double, and so Russell Westbrook. Oh my lord, the guy every year his shooting gets a little bit worse, especially from the 3-point line. He likes to drive it in the hole. That's why they traded Capella away because they had to clear the path so he can have a clear path to the paint in the hole. But let's see what let's see what the Rockets do here. Tammy, I've heard a lot about if there was just one about the Celtics. Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker to Houston for Russell Westbrook. I don't know about that shit at all. I think Houston would win that. You would get a very good defender in Marcus Smart, and you would get a younger and a cheaper player in Kemba Walker. So I think Houston would win that trade. There's also talk about him going just trade him for picks possibly and going to either Charlotte or New York, and he could just be a solo act. New York, get the ticket sales up. The New York said they'll take him, but if Houston can pay some of the contract, because he's due a lot of money. So it's I remember he signed over for $200 million back when he signed his max contract. So it's a lot of money. The Charlotte, I think he has Jordan shoes. So Michael Jordan would do this to try to keep him relevant. Okay, you're gonna be with us in the Hornets, Charlotte. We're gonna suck, but at least you're gonna be possibly averaging a triple double again, and try to keep him relevant. And I think Michael Jordan gets some percentage of the shoes that when Westbrook sells his shoes because they're from the Jordan brand. So that's another possibility. Like I said, that would be New York, or Charlotte would be more of a solo act. The Clippers have also been in talks, would send Paul George to Houston for Russell Westbrook. But now, who wins that trade? You got two choke artists in Houston. Now, if you got Paul George and James Harden, I don't know who's going to choke harder. I don't know about that one. And then Kawhi Leonard he wants a leader. Is Westbrook really a leader? He's just going to play iso ball. I don't think that's going to work out either. I don't know what's going to happen. I do expect Russell Westbrook to get traded, but I just don't know where. There's a lot of teams, like I said. Maybe Milwaukee too. Can he play with Giannis? I don't know about that one either. This is a bad look for James Harden too, because remember back in the day, Dwight Howard, after they lost in the first round to the Portland Trailblazers, both Dwight Howard and at separate times, and James Harden went up to the front office and asked for each, Harden said Dwight needs to be traded. And then Dwight Howard said James Harden to be traded. And then, then he ended up getting traded. And then last year, I think he walked away as a free agent. And then last year, same thing, after they lost to the Warriors, James Harden said, "You know what the problem is?" He said that to a press conference after the game. He's like, you guys know what the problem. You guys know what the problem is. And then apparently, a few minutes after the press conference, he went to the general manager and told him, "We got to trade Chris Paul." So guys do not seem to like to play with James Harden. Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, and now Russell Westbrook all went out. So who knows? Good luck to you. Unless they can trade for a Paul George with the Clippers, I don't think they're gonna get another star. He's getting a bad rap for playing with stars. He's this guy who's played with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard when he was in his prime, and nobody wants to play with him apparently. So we'll see what happens. Now there's also a possibility they could trade James Harden. We'll see what happens with that one. They could trade James Harden as well. You can get the farm for James Harden. There's been talks about getting Ben Simmons for James Harden, and then pairing up James Harden and Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. So Houston can go on a completely rebuild. They fired the general manager and Mike D'Antoni, and the general manager Daryl Morey are gone now. So it's a rebuild. They hired Steven Salas, I believe, assistant coach from the Dallas Mavericks. So they could just say, hit the hell with it. James Harden, let's trade him for the farm. Let's see what we can get for Russell Westbrook. And they can just start all over. They can just rebuild because you're not going to go anywhere. What are you going to do? You're going to trade James Harden. They're going to trade fucking Russell Westbrook. Forget about Russell Westbrook. Forget about Westbrook. He's gone. The thing is here, what do you do with Harden? Do you try to go Harden and a bunch of role players and see how that? I don't think that's going to work. You got the Lakers, LeBron, Anthony Davis. You got the Warriors with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You got the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to be enough to win. So you might as well just trade Harden as well and rebuild this shit. Restart it up. But we'll see what happens. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Until next time, I'm on like a light. Tonight's live stream, I'm going to start at 1:30. We'll be on Discord as well. Get ready. Until next time, I'm on like a light.